Hi guys again. Just want to say thank you again for coming out, and it's kind of surreal to see all this hardware out there and all these guys, some of the top guys that ever did the sports: Kamaru, Khabib, Kayla, Henry, Justin, Lance. All these guys up there is like I believe is 9 built up there, and it's kind of me looking at them is making my eyes hurt, and I kind of very much. You can go ahead and ask question. We'll let Lance gonna start because Lance is gonna announce a fight. Who he's gonna fight first and when and where.
My first fight of season 3 for PFL is going to be against Jason Suarez, 14-0. I think he trains out of ATT, and that's going to be May 21st. So that'll be my first fight of season 3.
Let's just follow up on that, Lance. I mean, talk about the matchup itself. What do you think? I mean, you've had a lot of success under this PFL format. What do you think of them, kind of bringing in, looks like champions from other organizations to try to take a shot at you?
It's great. It's great for me because I need the competition. I need new guys coming in. I need guys to challenge me. And I need to prove that I'm the best 45er in the world. And I can't do that unless they're bringing in new challengers. So it's a great opportunity for me.
What's your mindset going into these seasons, right? Because, I mean, I know every champion has to kind of defend their belt and win it every time. But, I mean, you have to, like, start from scratch every time, right? I mean, all you guys. Is it tough to do that, to, like, under this format, like, have to basically start over every year?
Not really. It just goes back to my wrestling career where every season is a fresh start and you're starting new at the beginning of the year and you have to work your way back to the title again. So it's very much the same as what I've done my entire life.
Fantastic. Thanks, Lance. Khabib, I wanted to ask you, yesterday was a pretty wild day. I don't know that we were expecting that. So now that you've had a little time to calm down, decompress, think about it all, what do you think about what you saw yesterday with Tony Ferguson?
What's up, guys? How are you? Thank you for coming. First of all, I want to say thank you for my brother Ali. He did a very good job. I'm so proud of him. Thank you, Ali. And I forgot my belt home. And thank you, Henry. Thank you for belt, brother. You have a lot of gold. Thank you so much.
I got so much gold. I'm letting these dudes borrow it.
Thank you, guys. And about yesterday, I think it was fun. It was fun, because Tony is a funny guy. That's why I think. Because it's next month, finally. Next month, I hope we're gonna fight finally because this is very interesting fight, dream fight for fans, for you guys, media, for fighters, everybody wanna watch this fight, Like fan, I love this fight too, and we'll see.
Thanks. We'll follow up with Anthony Johnson, please. We've been seeing a lot of you rumble, but we don't know what's going on yet. You keep teasing us that you're coming back and that there's going to be fight scheduled. Now we're hearing maybe light heavyweight. What's the plan, man? Give us the update. Where are we going on progress?
I mean, everything's going smooth. No date set yet. I just plan on, catching a lot of bodies when I come back. That's all I know. It don't matter if it's heavyweight or light heavyweight.
So you are open to both divisions?
Yeah. I knock them all out. It don't matter.
Nice. Are you in the USADA pool yet? That's one of the big hurdles,
Nah,
right?
probably next month, something like that.
Okay, fair enough. Justin Gaethje, I want to ask you, we've got a great lightweight title fight coming up, but we're kind of looking at how the bookings are lining up and who's fighting who. Sounds like Poirier and Hooker might be lined up. The name that stands out there for you seems like Conor McGregor. Is that a fight that interests you at this time? Do you think that's your next move?
I think I've put myself in a great position to challenge for, the world title, to fight, try to be the best in the world. If Conor wants to go past me, he has to go through me. And I think that's the only way to legitimize the process and, make it right, pretty much. So I think that's the fight. And April 18th is a big day for the lightweight division. We've been waiting a long time to see this fight, and I can't wait to watch it.
Fair enough. I know you guys are right in front of each other, but I mean, do you see yourself fighting Khabib at some point for that title?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the only way to get paid here is to fight somebody. So I need him. We need each other to get paid. And I got here there's only one reason I'm here, to prove or try and prove that I'm the best in the world. All I ask is that I have a say in my destiny. I get to at least have a little bit of say, and the politics, come into play. So I'm really hoping to avoid that. Like I said, I put myself in a great position. 3 knockouts in a row, 3 first-round finishes. If you want to go past me, you got to go through me.
Thanks, Justin. Lastly, for me, I wanted to ask Marlon. I know we're going to keep this friendly today. We're all on the same team. But I did want to ask you what you think about Henry's decision to face Jose Aldo. I mean, that's a fight that you just won. Now you've got to fight, Peter Yan. What did you think about it, Henry's decision? It was controversy, to say the least. What did you think about it?
First of all, thank you, Ali, to be here, and pleasure to be with all those champions right here, all these great fighters. And I think it's a smart decision, Henry is his position. He's the champion. He won 2 belts. He gave up the flyweight division, and he picked a good fight, a good opponent for him. Aldo's a legend, and we'll see what happened. But I think he was smart. He took a good fight for him.
And you know what, John? Can I chime in on that a little bit? I said I think people tend. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, everybody good?
Oh, we can hear.
My last three opponents, I want to tell you guys, because I am getting a lot of shit. Oh my God, Peter Yan, Aljamain Sterling. My last 3 opponents, Demetrius Johnson, probably the greatest MMA fighter of all time, beat him. Second was TJ Dillashaw, man, the guy that was on EPO, the greatest bantamweight of all time, beat him. And then the killer back here, man, has been knocking people out. And his last 3 opponents, he knocked down the first round. Guys, Peter Yan, he fought a 41-year-old retired skateboarder. Aljamain Sterling, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me the name. I deserve the name. And it was a close fight with Marlon and Aldo. Man, Aldo's he's a legend. I'm out here to take names, man. I'm out here to build my own legacy. If you guys don't like it, like Dana said, don't watch it. But I know you guys are.
You want to take the last drown him, right?
My question is for Kamaru. So, man, on your Instagram, you posted a picture and you said you can't wait to flee the crime scene again in your next fight. Now, all points are leading to a Jorge Masvidal fight, man. How do you feel like stylistically just fighting him in a fight, hopefully in July?
I'd flee the crime scene again.
Yeah?
Just like that. Guys, there's really no... first of all, thank you guys all for coming. And, of course, my brother Ali for putting this together. But, guys, there's really no clear-cut guy. If you want to... Like, we get in this sport to prove that we are the best at it. You want to fight the best guy, which is why Khabib chose to go with Tony. He feels like that's a guy that deserved that fight. If you really look at that, I think the guys fighting for the #1 contender are fighting this month, March. Leon Edwards is fighting Tyron Woodley. Those guys are fighting for the #1 contender spot. This is a fight that, of course I want to fight Masvidal. There's a lot of hype on that because, I need that. I'm trying to get paid too. I'm trying to ride into something nice. So, of course I want that fight. But, guys, how is he the #1 contender? Because of hype? Exactly. You can't tell me that he's beat the top guys in the top 5 to where he's proven himself as the #1 contender. He has not. So, and that's all that is. But if it's him, I would gladly love to fight him. If it's one of the guys fighting next month, I would gladly love to. If I don't fight, I don't get paid, and I'm trying to get paid.
My next question is for Khabib. And man, you're 28-0, man. Obviously, as any champion, you would want to retire undefeated, right? How many more years, man, do you think that we got left to see you fight? Do you want to go 35-0, 30-0?
You tired with me?
Never.
No. I know and someone stay on top long time, people just want to see how he fell down, It's like, because it's very interesting, how we're gonna fall down, like everything, like how we crash. This is interesting, I know, but about my retirement, I don't know, honestly, because I'm only 31 years old. Right now is my prime time, and what's interesting, in every fight I become better. Like even like my last fight, after like maybe 3-4 months, I watch my fight and I think, wow, I make mistake here. I make mistake here, like ground game, striking game, like everywhere. And I think, oh, how I can make like this, like even 3-4 months after fight, I keep learning too, I'm young for this sport, only 31 years old, and I think right now is my prime time, and I don't think it's good now think about retirement, I have to smash a couple more guys, this is what I think. Thank you.
Khabib, actually, could you be, Khabib over here, you just mentioned that, after watching the Poirier fight a few months later, you saw things that you can improve. Is there something a little bit more specific that you can mention to us that you felt like you could do better in that fight?
Nothing, just I train every day and I try to watch my fights, how I move, how I use my legs, how I use my hips, how I use my footwork on stand-up, everything I just try to learn, because if you stay on same position, like a lot of tough guys, a lot of tough high-level fighters, high-level lightweights, they train so hard because they want this gold, and that's why I cannot lose my motivation, my mind, nothing. I have to be focused on my career, and that's why I try to keep learning, because if you stop, someone gonna come and take what you have, and that's why I have to improve a lot. And learning is the most important stuff in MMA, not only MMA, like all sport, like George St. Pierre say, even if you black belt, in your mind you have to stay like white belt, and something like this.
For Anthony Rumble Johnson, I think a lot of people are excited that you're going to come back. I'm curious, from your own experience, but also in general, why is it that retirement in the sport of MMA doesn't really last for so many fighters that try to get out of the game?
No idea. For me, I didn't have to retire. I retired on my own. The other ones that retired and came back, they needed to retire and stay retired the first time. I guess they thought they had a little bit left in the tank. Hopefully that's not me whenever I come back. But I don't know, man. Whenever you feel like you still got it, or you still feel like you have something to prove, you're willing to go out there and sacrifice your life pretty much to go out there and prove it. Not to just everybody else, but to yourself.
Do you ever wonder in your retirement how you ever managed to make 170 pounds years ago?
No. I mean, to me, that's like a past life. I don't even really think about it. You guys think about it more than me. Even though I was the one that was suffering trying to get down to 170. But it got me where I am right now. If I would have went up to 185, you probably wouldn't have heard of me, because they had Anderson and Rich Franklin and all those guys. I would have got my ass whooped. So I went down to 170 and tried to make a name for myself, and it worked out.
And when you retired, there was some mention that you were going to get into the cannabis business. I'm curious, are you still doing that, and how's that going?
Yeah. I'm still in that business every day.
Is there a specific product or brand or line that you're working with or on?
Just weed. THC.
My first question is for Islam over here. Islam, you expressed frustration in past months about not being able to find a willing opponent for you, and now you have one in Alexander Hernandez. I guess, how satisfied are you that he's the name that came across your contract?
Last year I asked about opponent from top 15, but they give me just guy from 15, number 15. But I'm so excited. But this guy very good. He have 3-4 fight in UFC, but this guy very strong guy. Just I happy because they give me opponent.
Appreciate it. My next question's for the PFL champions up here. You guys win a lot of money when you win these PFL titles. Is there ever a thought in your mind like, hey, now that I have this money, maybe I don't have to do this anymore?
No. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I do it because I love it. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for fame. I don't do it for anything other than the goal of waking up and pursuing the best possible version of myself. So, yeah, $1 million is nice. It's like icing on the cake, but the cake is getting to be the best combat athlete in the world. And I'm well on my way to that.
Is that right now?
My career is young, Henry. We shall see. We shall see who bends the knee.
For Khabib,
But what about other champions? They have a lot of money. What about these guys? Please discuss.
I agree with Kayla. It's when you first start fighting, you're not making any money. You're not doing it for the money. So when you start to make money, that's just the beginning of it, and that's only part of it. You want to build a legacy. You want to have something to look back on with your career. Money comes and goes, so that's not the end all be all. Money is nice, but I think people overshadow the belts and the championships with how much money we make, because you guys are allowed to see that we make $1 million to win the PFL season, and that's not really what it's all about. You got to win 5 fights just to get to that point. There's a lot more that goes into it. Everybody wants to say that, you know, that they could do it because they think they could win 5 fights in 7 months, but it's a lot harder than people seem to believe. So just the challenge of it and being able to do it twice or 3 or 4 times, then maybe we'll think about being done fighting after that.
Eu vou continuar lutando. Eu acho que o PFL proporciona isso de $1 milhão, é um prêmio muito bom, e eu já fui campeão nesses últimos 2019, 2018, e vou voltar para o torneio de 2020 e continuar lutando até achar que tenho que me aposentar.
I'm really excited for PFL. I won the 2017 and 2019. I'm keep going. I'm keep fighting. I'm ready for next season.
Well, thank you. I don't fight for money. I love fight, no? I like money, of course. Everyone, no? Yeah, I like fight. No, I don't fight for money. It's my life is fight. I have 29 years. What doing? I don't fight more. What is my objective, no?
Khabib, so we saw how Tony acted at the press conference yesterday. There's some people that are saying maybe he's doing this to promote, but other people are saying maybe he has some mental problems and there's something wrong with him. May I ask, which do you think it is?
Honestly, you know, it's like nothing personal here. I don't want to talk about his problem, like family stuff, mental stuff. Like, this is his problem, you know. Leave him alone, you know. I don't want to talk about him, about his problem, because like everybody sit here, everybody have problem, you know. It's like nobody's safe, you know. If he need help, we have to help him. But we're gonna fight next month. I don't want to think about him. He's my opponent, you know. And talk about his mental problem, I don't think it's like good stuff.
I appreciate that. And for Rumble, can I ask what your weight is now, and if you had your choice, heavyweight or light heavyweight, John Jones, Stipe, who would you pick if it was up to you right now?
I weigh 230, 235 right now, something like that. Don't look at me, dog. You always looking at me. But if I had I fight both. It don't matter what weight, you know. They're both athletes. They're both champions. They're both great fighters. You know, the best ever in both weight classes. So I'd be glad to take the opportunity to fight both of them, no matter what.
Hey guys, first of all, thanks for coming and chatting with us today. Really cool to see all of these champions and all of you guys are here. So thank you for that. The first question for Kamaru. Last time we saw you had a cast on your left hand. Everything okay with the hand?
Yeah, we're getting better, and I said it a while ago. I said, you know, I only got to be in that thing for a couple of weeks. You know, I took it off early just so I could start doing the physical therapy on it, and I've been training, and so, you know, I'm ready to go. I'm trying to make some bread.
100%?
No, not 100% yet, but come on now. It's only a couple of weeks ago.
Do you know what it actually was?
I don't think someone here is 100% healthy. You know,
including me probably.
Like I talk about like all athletes, everybody have some injuries, all of them. You know, knee, like some problem with back. You know, like if you watch everybody, I think like they training the last 20, 25 years. You know, and always like injuries there. You know, nobody safe. They always have some small injuries, like, and you know it's like. But let's go, Kamaru.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Brother. Let's
I'm getting
go.
there.
Do you know what it was? Was it like a thumb or?
Some ligament stuff.
Okay.
Right in between that scaphoid joint, you know, and my thumb. But you know, International Fight Week, I'm back in there, so we'll see who it is.
And that was my next question. Is that the expectation? Is it International Fight Week?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, the quickest I can make money, you know, the quickest I can get back in there. But you know, we know the May card is already, you know, Henry's taking that. June, I think they're working on that too. You know, the only next option is July, so you know, let's get this bread.
And Dana said Masvidal, but it seems like you're open to the Woodley Edwards winner as well.
You know, this is a part. That's the good thing about when you're a champion is, you know, now it's a partnership. You know, of course, it's still more so the UFC, but it's a partnership. Now I have a little bit of a say so, but I want what Dana wants. If Dana thinks that Masvidal is what's gonna make me the most money, then that's what I want. You know, I don't object to any of it.
Thanks.
Frankie, Edgar, what's happening, man? I just want to ask you, right over here, Jim Greasehaber, cage side seat. I have to ask you about this trend, everybody calling out legends, and people calling you out now, being a legend in the sport. You've been a guy, multiple divisions, had the belt around your waist, fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. But at this stage of your career, when you're still going and all these guys are calling you out as a legend, how do you feel about being a legend, and how do you feel about all these young guys trying to make a name off you?
You know, that's the nature of the sport. The whole legend talk, I'm not really down with it. You know, that's for after I'm done fighting, I think. You know, and there's a lot of legends up here too right now. You know, so I don't like being compared to anybody else, stuff like that. I'd rather just worry about me. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to be called out by these guys. It means I've done something in my career. I've built a name for myself, and you know, that's their job to kind of get a name off of me.
And for the champions up there, whoever wants to answer it, the business, and we see Henry with what he's doing on social media, and Kamaru and Khabib, there's so much that goes into it, more so than just fighting now. And you guys all grow up training and fighting, and that's why you do it and what you love, but then all the money gets involved and all the business gets involved. Can you guys just, whoever wants to answer this, talk about that line between being a competitor and then being a business person and a champion?
No, I can take that if you don't mind, Khabib. May I, Khabib? I let you borrow my belt. Okay. If I wasn't to literally open my mouth, and I want you guys to listen to this, the flyweight division would have been gone. I took it upon myself to become the Triple C and to make it happen. Look, man, like listen to Chael Sonnen. Fucking Triple C, call him Triple Cringe, Triple C. The dude saved 57 freaking jobs. And part of being a good fighter, and people are different. Like even when you talked about Frankie, like even the times that I did call out Frankie, and there were harsh videos, it's only because, man, this dude is a legend. I mean, he hit the nail on the head, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely, I want to tag my name to him, that I'd be honored. So there is a business sense to it, and I think sometimes fighters, we tend to forget that a little bit. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm not committing crimes. They asked Demetrius Johnson not too long ago, what do you think of Henry Cejudo? What do you think of other cringe? He's like, dude, I love it. That dude's not hurting nobody. I mean, this is the dude that I defeated. This is the dude that I beat. So part of the game is being an entertainer as well. And I happen to save a division on top of that. So I'm happy with that.
I have something. Hey, here someone have 2 gold medal Olympic. You know, calm down, please.
And I fight in a promotion where I don't have to talk shit. I just have to win.
Well, you also get $1 million, so I wouldn't either.
Just one for Ottman in the back there. Big fight for you coming up against an opponent who had a big upset in his UFC debut. Just tell us what you think about this matchup for you.
I'm happy to. First of all, I want to thank Ali to who made this event possible, who brought all these great fighters, all these great people together. Thank you, Ali. About my next fight, I'm happy anytime to fight. I take any opponent serious. I prepare like always. I never give predictions. Only Allah knows what happened. As long as I give my best, it will go the best way, how it have to go. I'm happy. See you 18 April.
Just a quick one for Khabib. You have, Islam on the same card as you, Usman. Does that make the experience of what's going to happen in Brooklyn even more exciting for you?
It's gonna be very hard, a lot of my brothers gonna fight with me, We just signed my cousin, 12-0, but he's still young, but he have to improve a lot, and he have to show, who he is, and it's gonna be very hard. Honestly, like when I fight in the last fight in Abu Dhabi, it's like focus on myself. It's very hard, like when you're close people fighting, you cannot just warm up, You're gonna watch they fight. You're gonna nervous, of course, but anyways, like last time I have very good energy. Like before fight, when Islam just come back to locker room, he win, and he come back. Like I feel like so much energy. I hope they're gonna give me like victory before my fight, and it's gonna be big night for not only like for UFC and fans, like for our team too. It's a very big night.
Question for Usman right here. During this last Dominance Media Day we spoke, and you said you were going to work with Ali to bring an event to Morocco. That was one of your goals. So I'm curious if there's been any talks of bringing the Octagon to Morocco.
I left this question to you. I said Morocco is happy to host UFC and everything is possible in Morocco. Me and my brother, we represent Morocco in UFC, and we would love UFC to come to Morocco. It's never been in Africa. We have a lot of African UFC fighters in the UFC. We have champions like Usman, Kamaru. We have other champions also too in UFC. So anytime UFC want to come to Morocco, we have everything. We have venues, we have flights, we have hotels, we have anything. It's secure there. It's anything UFC might need there. It's just a matter of the management and UFC and what Ali make out of it with the UFC. But anytime, welcome.
And I have a question for anyone on the stage that wants to answer. Last night, Invicta tested the open scoring where the corners could know the judge's scorecard between rounds. So I'm curious if anyone likes that idea or if they watched it and what they thought of that situation.
What does that mean? Oh my God. Because it's Invicta, I'm the only one that watched? Unbelievable. Did you hear that? I'm going to put you on the spot. You're supposed to be gender equality.
I'm trying to be the intergender champ. That's what
I'm saying. You need to watch your competition. I don't know a lot about the open scoring, to be honest with you. I think it's an interesting concept. I think it's a good idea to start trying different things out, The only way we can make the sport better is if we're guinea pigs and we try and figure out a way to make it more fair, make it more of an open book policy. So I don't know a lot about it, but I think it's a good start.
Like yesterday I talked with Hunter about this open score. Like, he said very interesting stuff about, like for example, like open score, like first round is very close, right? And judges give for blue corner and red corner, no agree with this. And not all fighters very strong mental, sometimes like he can go with his corner or with judges can go crazy. Hey, what are you talking about, guys? I beat this guy. Like inside the fight, it can happen, maybe, some fighters like first 2 rounds he lose. You can say, I'm out. I don't want to fight more. It's like a little bit dangerous too. We have to think about this too. But open scores, like in soccer, open score, But MMA is like completely different sport. This is not like soccer or football or like NBA. This is completely different sport. This is, like you fight 1-on-1. This is not like. That's why I'm 50-50 on this. I like this, and same times like a lot of questions.
Just to piggyback off of that, he makes a good point because, that element of being in the dark and not knowing. Like you mentioned, some fighters mentally might not be all, as strong as others. So, having that little bit of hope of not knowing what the score is. You know, even if a fighter lost the first 2 rounds, just having that little bit of hope. You know what? I can still win this, and go out there and just give it all in that 3rd round. How many fights have we seen where a guy finishes someone with a second left or 10 seconds? You know, the open score could potentially work, but also it could, you know, hurt that. You know, that little bit of hope that fighters may have going into that last bit of the fight. And plus, it takes away from the suspense, you know, from all of you guys at home, sitting at home wondering, oh, what's going to happen? Yeah, people leave halfway through, oh, this fight's over. They leave. So, you know, it's 50-50.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be suspense who's winning. Like, it's very clear. Like, you should know who's winning a fight. The judges shouldn't be able to make those calls based on, like, personal choices or whatever. If you are watching a fight and you know the sport, it should be clear-cut who's winning the fight. So it shouldn't be a mystery. I mean, how many times have you been watching a fight and you're thinking that one guy is winning, and then all of a sudden the judges pull out the scorecards and you're like, what? I never saw that coming. Like, that should totally be eliminated from the sport. I don't know if open scoring is the way to do it, but it's like, that drives me nuts.
And you know, I think like we have in MMA, we have a lot of judges from boxing. You know, they don't understand MMA, but we have a lot of veterans. I think we have to teach them a little bit and put them like judges, because a lot of guys don't understand like wrestling, they don't understand grappling, they don't understand clinch. They know only like boxing, you know, and that's why we have to bring. I think a lot of veterans and like MMA veterans. This is what I think, to understand like MMA.
My question is for Khabib, to your right. The last time you were in the city, the Nevada State Athletic Commission levied some pretty heavy fines on you and a suspension, and you said that you did not want to fight in the city again. Now that there's been some time between that and you've got some perspective, would you consider coming back to Las Vegas to headline a card?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But who knows? But my opinion, if they do something, maybe I can come back.
What could they do to convince you to come back?
What they can do? Sell women's shoes, maybe something like this. But you know, like they take like almost $1 million from me, you know, and they give me 9 months. And right now I'm good, you know, with Athletic Commission, with everybody, because I'm fighting in New York, you know. That's why let's fight in New York. New York is like not bad place, I think.
My last question is for the PFL champions. The promotion installed technology in your gloves called Smart Cage, where they were tracking strikes and power and things of that nature. Have any of you looked back at that data and implemented it at all in your training?
I don't really look back at the data. It's for mainly speed, because like CompuStrike, they're able to do strikes landed and stuff like that. So I think really the only difference was the speed of the strikes. So for me, I didn't really look back at that.
I'm definitely more of a grappler, so we'll say that I didn't really throw that many strikes or significant strikes that you would look back on that kind of data. But once I start throwing strikes, world, watch out.
I'm waiting.
You got a hurt little wing there. Relax.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. We're going to do a group photo now, so can I get all fighters to the stage, please? All fighters from both groups to the stage, please.